Welcome everyone to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers, and tonight we're going to talk about some more blatant ripoff games. Have you seen the open world survival crafting game called Light of Motiram, or however the hell you pronounce that? It's got Mechanimals and looks like Horizon. I mean, hell, when I saw the art, I'm like, what, a new Horizon game? Well, nope, that wasn't Horizon. So Polaris Quest, a subsidiary of Tencent Games, and another developer called Aurora Game Studio have announced Light of Motiram, an open world survival crafting game with mechanized animal beasts that resemble the Horizon franchise. It's going to be available on PC, PlayStation 5, iOS, and Android. That's how you know it's going to be a great game, when it's on all those freaking mobile platforms, right? The game looks like really a cross between Horizon and Monster Hunter games, because it's got like a co-op aspect to it, and you're going to do like boss battles against creatures. There's some crafting from like Pal World, just a lot of just like a mishmash game. It does look kind of interesting. I mean, I do like the visuals of Horizon. I mean, I'm sure we all do. I love Horizon. Horizon Zero Dawn is up there in my top 10 favorite games of all time. But like I said, it touts like precision combat, epic boss fights, which is, the Monster Hunter franchise right there. It's got base building, Power World. I wouldn't be surprised if you capture some of these in the future and have them battle and protect your base for you, right? And you supposedly has up to 10-player co-op, which is interesting. Are there going to be raid monsters or something out there that you're going to have to do this? I don't know. There's a teaser trailer out there if you want to check it out to see what mechanicals they've already Mechanimals they've already announced, and some of the gameplay footage, and as well as them talking about some of the survival aspects, the base building aspects, the combat, and a little bit of the co-op stuff. Which the co-op sounds interesting, right? Because I mean, all of us enjoy a little Monster Hunter, and it's kind of fun to do boss battles with each other. But I can only imagine if Horizon did this, it'd be kind of cool to fight a giant, any type of Horizon beast that's made for multiple people to tackle it. In the video they show off somebody beating the crap out of one of them with a giant ass hammer. So that's right up my alley. These guys don't like the hammer because I knocked them out of the battle all the time in Monster Hunter. So it might be the same thing in this game. But let's see what these guys think about this blatant ripoff of Horizon, and if Sony's going to come for their ass or not. Shane, what do you think about the Light of Motiram?
I'm trying not to break out in song here, but I'm having trouble not agreeing and disagreeing at the same time, because there's a lot of visual that I see that goes, yes, abso-freaking-lutely. And then there's other things like you had, mentioned, that gives it more of a Monster Hunter vibe. So I think this game is definitely taken a lot visually from Horizon, but I think it's going to fall down to gameplay. Character wise, yeah, I do kind of get the feel of it, as Aloy, and definitely the creatures. I get the Horizon vibe, but it's the combat that makes me feel a little more indifferent on it, because it does feel like Monster Hunter. Now, this is a trailer. There's definitely a lot more that we don't know about. So I'm not going to attack or criticize them just yet.
Yeah, not even a release date, right?
Exactly.
The only bad thing we know about it so far is that it's going to be on mobile platforms, which means it's Genshin.
Exactly.
It's going to be a gotcha game or something craptastic like that.
Unfortunately, you're probably right. I mean, if you look at the developer where they're from, it's definitely going to be geared more towards the gotcha aspect than the story-driven elements of Horizon and, the captivating characters and all that. It'll definitely be more of a mashy game, which is not always bad. It's not. I mean, there's so many games out there where you just smash the crap out of a button that are still fun. Monster Hunter, I don't know a lot of the story. I just know you're a monster hunter. And that's all you really need in badass monsters. So, or technically, I think you're the monster because, those dudes were just chilling and the Tuki got jacked up by a jackass with a hammer that he sharpens for some reason. So
No blunt edges on that hammer.
No, sir. No, sir. It's all corners, baby. All corners. But the concept of the game, far as a world and a visual, it's definitely geared towards the Horizon lovers. But it's going to come down to that gameplay. Obviously, if this was Nintendo, they'd have been in court already after that trailer was launched. So Sony might be sitting back waiting for a little bit more. But Sony having this game being released on their platform means they have a little bit more knowledge than we know about, and what they're thinking, I don't know. But they they may not care. They may, they're going to get their percentage, so it doesn't matter. So they may be okay with it. It's as long as it's not a direct 1-for-1, maybe a 1-for-2 comparison of Horizon. I think they're going to be fine. But it's all going to come down to that gameplay. So
the protagonist is a redheaded girl who looks like a scrawnier version of Aloy. So
yeah. But hey, then you can at least afford her body pillow pad. So you couldn't
too
afford
small for me. I'm not into the waifus or any of that stuff,
Well, I'll find you a full size. But it's interesting to see it in gameplay, and then looking at the world, you definitely get different vibes from everything. So hopefully the game just doesn't suck, and it does have a little more going for it than a Horizon knockoff. So, but we're gonna have to wait until we find out more, see more gameplay, a little more of the story narrative on it. So, but we'll find out eventually. So, Nick, what about you, bud? Do you feel this is a complete 1v1 ripoff? Do you feel Sony should go full Nintendo? Or not? I don't care.
No, I don't really care. Rip it off if you want. What does Sony have? Are they the only person that can make a game about robotic dinosaurs? They have the market on that cornered. No, if you want to make a robot dinosaur game, you go right ahead. You can make your dinosaur robot game. Yeah, it looks cool to me. It looks like it might be fun. I don't know. Again, it comes down to, like you guys said, just the gameplay and see how it plays when it comes out. The fact that it's coming to mobile, I don't know. But so is it's after the fact, but Once Human is also coming to mobile. Like they're already in their beta process right now on the mobile side of things. So, and that game's pretty fun, but I hate the fact that these games want to come out on mobile as well. So we'll have to see how it is. But if it's a really fun game, like they already talked about making a Horizon MMO. So, Tencent is going to get out ahead of it, right? But really, if you think about it, every game is a ripoff of another game, if you really think about it, in some form or fashion. But it does look very similar to Horizon. Yes, it does. Right? It's pretty blatant how obvious the inspiration, we'll put it that way, the inspiration comes from. But it does look cool, right? That's a cool world. And I don't know what Guerrilla's going to do with it after Horizon Forbidden West, besides remake the first game again with better sparkling graphics, so
remaster.
They'll ruin Aloy for a third time.
Yeah. Remaster the remaster. So they said they're done with Killzone, so they ain't going back with that. I don't know why. I don't know why they won't make another Killzone. Killzone was never like knock it out of the park, like, oh my God, game, but I still enjoyed Killzone. Killzone was always like a I don't know, it was one of those guilty pleasure games for me. Like I enjoyed playing it just for the fun of going around shooting crap, it was like one of those games for me. So I enjoyed Killzone, but well, whatever. If they want to be done with it, then be done with it. But yeah, you got to get on this stuff, right? the Tencent, the Chinese mega conglomerate, they're already thinking about the ideas that you decide not to make. Looking at you, Nintendo. People for a long time wanted something like what Power World is, and we already talked about that one. And guess what? They beat you to it. And here you are again. Sorry, Sony, but someone else beat you to it. So you better start putting these concepts out there, because you know what people think, besides being blatant ripoffs of the IP and everything. You know what gamers think though when they get these games in their hands, like Power World? This is cool. This is a cool idea. Why didn't they do this before? Like the original, right? And then the original gets pissed off, like, oh, well, no, it's because you guys just want to. All you think about is like, how can we monetize and focus this franchise, besides making something that everybody wants. Like, I don't know how long people from Pokemon fans have been asking for like an open world, like Pokemon type game, like Power World, and Nintendo never wanted to make it, right? Game Freak did some variations of it, but not quite what people wanted. And then finally, pocket games or whatever they're called, Pocket Monsters or Pocket Pals, Pal Pockets, Pocket Pals, Pal Pocket, Polly Pocket, whatever their hell their name is. The people that
Pocket
made the
Monsters.
game. Yeah.
And then,
Anyway, they made the Power World game, and
Pocket Monsters.
Is it Pocket Monsters? I can't remember the name of it. It's Pal Pockets or Pocket Pals or something like that, right? That's the developer. Anywho, Pocket Pair. There you go. I was close. But yeah, I mean, the basic concept of what I'm getting to is these are really cool concepts. This game looks cool. Power World was cool. Power World is a cool game. This game looks cool. These are concepts that I think a lot of people would love to see popular franchises go. Something very similar to these types of styles of games, and the original IP owners of these games are just not doing it. So I'd say more power to the people that are actually going to take the risk of making something cool instead of everyone else who seems to want to just sit on their hands the entire time.
So you're on the seat of use it or lose it.
Yeah, use it or lose it.
And I fully agree with that. I mean, there's way too many amazing franchises that have just been left behind.
Yeah, they're just sitting there.
And not because they failed or faltered. I mean, they just like, we're done. It's like, give somebody else a chance. I mean, literally, lease out that property to another developer. There are many game
Konami's
developers
bad about that.
Oh, they're the worst about it, honestly. There's many developers out there that I would like to see take on another franchise. Something that's a little out of their wheelhouse, but I think they could do. Like Turn 10 is taking over Fable, for God's sakes. That is two things I would have never put together. But after seeing the trailer, I think there's hope for it. I think you got to take some risk like that. Get new faces and ideals into something. You make new magic, or it'll fail and everything just turns to a bucket of crap. So, but it's better than not doing anything at all. Plain and simple. Right, Pat?
Well, I mean, Guerrilla
good
has
and evil too, Nick. Pat, come on now. Somebody needs to do
Guerrilla
it.
Games has said that they are already making, Horizon 3, but it's going to be like 2027 or whatever. But they also alluded that they're making an online game for Horizon. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I am sick and tired of remakes.
Yep.
Not even remakes, but remasters, because they remastered it. If you want to remake something, I'm cool, because especially if you're retelling it and redoing it, and it's a 10-year-old plus game, by all means do it. We don't need 10 remasters of The Last of Us. Sony's bad about that. Everybody's bad about that these days, right? Remaster this, remaster that, and we'll remake one every now and then. Like, you don't need to remaster Horizon. It's not that old of a damn game.
Now, if you want to put a patch on it that makes it, prettier.
They can't make any more money if they do that, Shane. Now, come on.
$5 patch. I'm okay with that. But yeah, you're right.
I'm in a rough spot, and part of it is because part of it is me being I don't know how to put this. What's a good way of saying it? It's me being biased a little bit towards it because I love the Horizon series, and then them ripping off Guerrilla Game, Guerrilla's IPs, right? Because they're working on an online game. Who knows what that is? Is it a live service? Is it an MMO? What? We don't know. And then they're doing 3, and then here along comes this title that, by all accounts, looks cool. I mean, it looks like Horizon meets Monster Hunter meets Power World. Like, it's a melding of 3 genres of game that I enjoy all 3, right? So if it lives up to that hype, cool. But I don't think it will because of the mobile aspect, and I think that's just going to ruin it. And then it's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouth, and you're just going to be like, "What is this garbage?" And then now it's equated with Horizon because it looks like it, right? Like, I've never played Call of the Mountain because I don't have a PSVR 2. Sony can mooch off the PC players by adding support for PC games in the PSVR 2, but they don't want to share their IPs, I say the PC world cuts Sony off and don't let them play any of their VR games, so they want to share. But at the same time, like I said, I'm a little biased. When when Pokemon and Nintendo are suing Power World, I'm rooting for Power World, and this one I'm like more rooting for Guerrilla Games. But at the same time, I could tell you that I am biased a little bit because, like I said, Horizon Zero Dawn, to be specific, is in my top 10 games of all time. But I'm a little biased, and I can understand that. But at the same time, this game does look interesting as long as the mobile aspect doesn't screw it up. I want it to be, because I really want it to be more of a Monster Hunter style game where it's tactful, not like mobile games where it's hack and slash and not really skill based, right? I mean, you're just like, and then because then if it's mobile, are they going to sell the full price game, or are they going to make this like a monetization nightmare, free to play, which is really going to turn me off to it?
It's going to be $70 on console, $10 on your phone, $40 on Steam.
Right, but then are they going to microtransaction the hell out of it, monetize it that way too, right? Because it's on mobile. Anything that goes on mobile is monetized to the nth degree.
Yep.
They're monetize it to I always equate it to this. I remember being younger and having a trifold wallet, and you always used to sit to one side because your wallet was so big. Their goal is to make you sit straight by unleveling that wallet, right? All right. So, I don't know. I'm a little bit torn because I'm a little bit biased, but at the same time, it's a blatant ripoff to me. Because when I first saw it, I'm like, ooh, the new Horizon game. I'm like, oh, what does that say? Motiram? What is that? Horizon Motiram. Oh, no, that's a different game. The Light of Motiram. And I'm like, oh. I immediately thought that was Horizon, and I can understand the same thing for Power World, as you guys have mentioned. When you first see Power World, you're thinking, oh, Pokemon, right? But then, and you're like, okay. So, it's a catch-22 there. I support one, but not the other for different reasons. But I can see where I'm biased.
Well, my first thought when I saw it was Aloy was fighting Optimus Primal from the Transformers movie. So
it was Beast. It was the Transformers Beast Wars, right?
Yep. Yep. Aloy goes back in time to medieval Earth, fights the dreaded Optimus Primal.
Oh, so Aloy is Ash from the Evil Dead, right?
Groovy.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's an interesting concept. It looks pretty, as long as it, games like this are a little bit deceiving, right? Because the game trailer and some of the gameplay that they're showing off looks like a really polished and fleshed out game, but they probably polished a little 10-minute sections of the game so you can see it, because it looks like it's really close to being something available, but like no release date. So I don't know. I'm torn. If it comes out, I want it to be good, but I also don't want it to be on mobile devices, because to me that just ruins anything gaming. When I see something that's like coming to Steam, Epic, PS5, and Android and iOS, I'm like, and immediately like, it's like, yay, oh. Don't toy with my emotions like that. But like I said, it's like there's 16 minutes of gameplay in this damn trailer. It says there's 16 minutes of gameplay here. So, go check it out. Let us know what you think. I think it's a blatant ripoff, but I'm biased because I love the game. These guys are more like share the IP wealth. You snooze, you lose. And I could get behind that, because sometimes IPs are better off in the hands of others, especially when it's like Ubisoft IPs. But most of Sony subsidiary studios do damn good with their games. Single player games. I got to preface that, single player games. Their whole attempt at making games of service has gone down the toilet really well, right? So, well, you guys got anything else on this one? Anything else you want to say about the Light of Motiram or Motirim or whatever the hell? Motirim.
I got nothing.
All right. Okay. Well, let us know what you think down in the comments. Do you think this is a blatant ripoff? Do you think this is a good ripoff? What do you think about it coming to mobile? You know, let us know what you think down in the comments. And you've reached the end of this episode. If you're not subscribed, why not? Help us out. Subscribe to our channel so we can get more viewers and keep making more videos of us just talking about random video game crap. And tune in every week, hit that bell so you get notified when we put out new videos. We put out multiple videos every week. We hope you enjoyed this episode and hope to catch you in the next one.
See ya.